Plato, a prominent philosopher from ancient Athens, is renowned for establishing the Academy, a school of philosophical thought that later became synonymous with Platonism. Plato, also known by the pen name Platon, which supposedly originated from his wrestling coach's nickname, referencing his physical robustness, was the son of Ariston and hailed from the suburb of Colydus in Athens. Plato was a trailblazer in the realm of philosophical discourse, introducing innovative written dialogues and dialectical approaches to philosophy. He posed critical questions that influenced the core areas of both theoretical and practical philosophy. His most celebrated contribution, the theory of forms, or ideas, is often seen as an attempt to address the enduring philosophical question of universals. He is also credited for inspiring the concepts of Platonic love and the Platonic solids. While Socrates, his teacher, had a profound influence on him, Plato's philosophical roots are believed to extend to pre-Socratic thinkers like Pythagoras, Heraclitus, and Parmenides. Unfortunately, very little remains of the works of his predecessors, and much of what is known about them comes from Plato himself. Plato, alongside Socrates and his student Aristotle, holds a central position in the history of philosophy. Remarkably, all of Plato's writings have been preserved for over 2,400 years, in contrast to most of his contemporaries' works. His works have had their moments of popularity but have consistently been subjects of study and contemplation. The influence of Plato's philosophy also extended through Neoplatonism, impacting Christian thought, through figures like Augustine of Hippo, and Islamic philosophy, via luminaries like Al-Farabi. In modern times, philosopher Alfred North Whitehead asserted that the European philosophical tradition could be aptly described as a series of annotations on Plato's ideas. Plato's early life and education remained shrouded in mystery, though he was born into an aristocratic and influential family. Based on historical sources, it is believed that he was born sometime between 428 and 423 BC in either Athens or Aegina, though the exact details of his birthplace and date remain elusive. Notably, Plato was known to wear earrings and rings during his youth to distinguish himself and appear more distinguished. His penchant for jewelry in his younger days was even considered decadent by some, as reported by Sextus Empiricus. While Plato offers minimal biographical information, he mentions his family members, such as his brothers Adimantus and Glaucon, in his work, The Republic, allowing for the reconstruction of his family tree. Plato's life may have involved travels to places like Italy, Sicily, Egypt, and Cyrene. However, at the age of 40, he founded the Academy, a school of philosophical thought in Athens, situated in the grove of Hecademus, named after the Attic hero Academus from Greek mythology. The Academy operated until it was dismantled by Sulla in 84 BC. Numerous philosophers received their education at the Academy, with Aristotle being one of the most prominent. In his later years, Plato became embroiled in the political dynamics of Syracuse, where he aimed to replace the tyrant Dionysius with Dionysius's brother-in-law, Dion. Despite Plato's efforts, the tyrant turned against him, leading to Plato's near-death experience and his sale into slavery. An act of philanthropy by the Cyrenaic philosopher Anaxagoras secured Plato's freedom, allowing him to return home. Later, Plato was once again drawn to Syracuse at the request of Dion to educate Dionysius too. While Dionysius too initially embraced Plato's teachings, suspicions arose, and he eventually held Plato against his will. Plato later departed from Syracuse, and Dion returned to overthrow Dionysius, only to be overthrown himself by Callippus, another disciple of Plato. The details surrounding Plato's death have been the subject of various accounts. One narrative, based on a fragmented manuscript, suggests that Plato passed away peacefully in his bed while a young Thracian girl played the flute. Another tradition proposes that he met his end at a wedding celebration. These accounts are drawn from references like Diogenes Laertius's mention of an account by Hermippus, an Alexandrian from the 3rd century. Tertullian, on the other hand, simply states that Plato died in his sleep.